Hello, my name is Haley Coleman, and I'm applying for the scholarship at the Mesothelioma Fund. Cancer has affected my life in numerous ways. My mother, grandmother, and both of my great-grandparents have had cancer. My mother and grandmother had uterine cancer that they treated and were able to get better from. However, my great-grandparents, were not so lucky. My great-grandmother had uterine cancer, and my great-grandfather had pancreatic cancer, from which they both succumbed to. Thank goodness to technology and the advancement of cancer practices and treatments, my grandmother and mothers were able to be treated. My mother had uterine cancer when she was my age. She said that at the time she felt as though it was certain death. She was ashamed to talk about it. It took her 3 months to tell us, her children. I was a teenager. My mother had us at a very young age, 4 girls, back to back. We were able to overcome this adversity by educating ourselves. She taught us the proper diet, how to go get wellness checks and screened for it. She taught us that it runs in our family and the possible warning signs to look out for. She educated us about our family history and encouraged regular visits to the doctor and the gynecologist. Cancer's affected my outlook on life because I know that every day can't be taken for granted, to live life and appreciate it to the fullest. She said that she felt alone at first. Not that she didn't have a support team, but the realization that if she were to pass away, she would pass away alone. She wondered who would care for us and how we would be affected by it. And if by the time we were her age, maybe we didn't have to live in a world where cancer even existed. We're nearly there. It's made me stronger and happier knowing that they survived and that I can too. I want to contribute to my part. I regularly went to the rehabilitation center, the Bryan Center, where my grandmother, Sandra Crouch, spent her last days at. She befriended a lot of people there, and I still go see them on a regular basis. I wouldn't consider it volunteer work, more like a humanitarian effort to let people know that they're not alone, that somebody cares, and they have not been abandoned. Cancer has caused me to be a more caring person. I realize what other people go through. I realize that the pain, the anguish, the worry and anxiety of it all is very real. My mother said once they told her she had cancer, she felt as though it was a death sentence. She was overwhelmed, unable to cope with her own emotions, much less the emotions of others, so she didn't want to tell them, basically. My mother's name is Paula Crouch Ward. My grandmother's name is Sandra Sue Crouch. My grandmother passed away my first semester in nursing school. I began school August 2013. Shortly after, she had a minor stroke on the front porch sitting there with us. They took her to the rehabilitation center and said that she had tumors basically popping up all over her. They were benign, but I'm not sure what happened. My school life has been affected because my mother was sick for so long that she was unable to save money for our education. I'm currently attending school on a financial aid FAFSA Pell Grant. I'm in my junior year. I have 2 semesters left after this fall semester in 2015. I could use the financial assistance to take on extra classes so that I can graduate early to help take care of my family. I will be the first graduate in my family, and it will be appreciated. Thank you for your time.